go, boy!
What is going on, folks? This is CJ Prime here. We're here to talk about One Piece. This is, you know what, man? If there was anything that was going to get me back into recapping shows, I'm actually glad it was One Piece. You know, I was going to do Secret Invasion, and I just was like, you know what? You got my thoughts on Comic Book Corner. I don't really need to do a recap of that show. So, you know,
Yeah,
One
you
Piece.
had a come to Jesus moment on that one.
Yeah, I really did.
Y'all. Guten Tag.
How you doing, Prime?
I mean, it is what it is. I'm dealing with my unexpected viral fame right now.
You know, let's talk about it. You know, me, you, and Sue, we last time we did one of these, it was the Cowboy Bebop one, and we expressed, you know, the highs and the many lows of that show. And just like, you know, Netflix and them doing adaptations and them being 0 for 2 on it. And now One Piece happened, and you know, I will say, I think a lot of us came away from it like this was actually pretty decent. Watch,
I mean,
here.
yeah,
Son of a bitch.
I think the reaction I had, because I think I posted on Twitter, was that when I saw it, I was kind of watching along, and like, you know me, I'm kind of like a pretty like low tier One Piece fan. Like I like One Piece, but it's like I'm not like hard in the paint for it like I am with other things, but it's something that I do watch and I do enjoy.
You just watch it like
watch and read.
Basically, I think me and you are on the same page with anime nowadays. It's like, well, if it's Gundam, yeah, I'm all in. But like other anime, even shonen, it's like, I'll let it add up the episodes and then I'll watch it. That's how I am with My Hero Academia. I just let the episodes pile up and then I just watch it all in one hit, kind of thing.
So sidetrack. Why do I feel like watching macadamia nuts there is like fucking homework? But anyway, and you know, like, and I think I said online, I think I said on the podcast we were on.
Yeah,
don't gas me up.
So I'm just saying, Jujutsu Kaisen is starting to get that way for me. So
look. So I'm in the manga, right? So I'm reading the manga, right? And I swear, that book has wall of text that will make Bendis blush. It's just, I'm like, why are you letting all this cover up your gorgeous art, bro? What are you doing?
Anyways, come back.
You know there's a visual medium, but anyway.
Yeah. Sorry about that.
And so I think I said on the podcast when we were talking about Cowboy Bebop, like the only thing I would think would happen with One Piece would be kind of like an abridged version of the story. We'll just get all the big key highlights and big key moments, and at the very least, at the very worst it could be is mid or just okay. And after watching the Netflix adaptation, I'm happy to report, why am I always right? Like how am I able to envision shit? Like my powers of perception and foresight are too fucking strong.
I mean, you know, and that's the thing, because it's one of those situations where everybody had every right to feel some way about, you know, kind of, you know, sit back like side eye that trailer when it first came out. Because again, Netflix
pretty cringy
on this shit.
Pretty
cringy. And look, let's back up for a second here. When we talk about American, keyword, folks, American anime adaptations, I can count on one hand the good ones. Let's take One Piece off the table for a second here, right?
Okay.
So at least to me, you have Crying Freeman.
Okay, I agree.
Mark Dacascos, that one. Speed Racer.
I agree.
Edge of Tomorrow.
I agree.
Alita.
I agree.
And Guyver Dark Hero. So that's 5. That's 5.
And talking about America, not the myriad of Japanese shit like the Rurouni Kenshin trilogy, masterpiece.
Japan, their shit wavers. We touched a little bit on that with Shin Kamen Rider when I mentioned Gotcha Man, because that was something.
I could see what they were trying to cook there. It was, you know, anyway, it was.
Casshern is another one that's like Gotcha Man, where it's like, I see what you're doing.
I see the recipe, but maybe you should have let it bake a little longer. And I feel like the issue with me with the Gotcha Man one and the Casshern one, I feel like a lot of that they were trying to chase modern day movies aesthetics and trends. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Sensibilities. That's even better. And that kind of got in the way of it. Like it was like they're putting the banana in their own tailpipe. You know what I'm saying?
So past that, the bad ones end up outweighing the good ones because you get Dragon Ball Evolution, you get
Ghost in the Shell.
You know, you get Kite, You know, you get the live action Fist of the North Star.
You just unlocked the goddamn race memory. I forgot about that fucking kite movie, bro. I straight neuralized myself on that shit, dog. Oh my goodness.
Sam Jackson didn't forget he had to pay off a car note with that shit.
And that's looking at his Comcast bill for the month.
Cowboy Bebop is another one. It's like it's you know, and you kind of sit back and it's like the bad ones end up leaving more of a bad taste in your mouth than the good ones.
It's kind of like the same way about how it's like all anime dubs are bad. I'm like, that is categorically incorrect. That is
it's false.
you're just a fucking snobbish weeb. Like you're gonna look me dead in my motherfucking eyeballs and tell me all English dub sucks when Cowboy Bebop exists, Yu Yu Hakusho exists, Ronin Warriors exists, Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood exists. Why are you gonna fucking look me in my eye and tell me them
both versions of Akira?
Tell me them goddamn lies. Right. I'm like, so what vintage of the farts are you huffing? Because you're on that bullshit.
Black Magic M66 for the old school fans.
I mean, you're not wrong.
I'm old.
You know, we've been around the block for a minute, dog.
Dude, my back started to hurt when I said Black Magic M66.
I was about to ask you to take your aspirin this morning.
Took some vitamin C and vitamin D.
Get your cocktail. You pop your zinc and magnesium before you went out today, my man.
Look. So take it all out of the equation. So you get that, right? So probably had to put a post up there, right? And everybody after they saw One Piece was like, "Is this gonna break the bad anime adaptation curse?" I'm like, all right, pause. Let's stop saying that, folks. I think the bigger question is, can we actually get consistent good anime adaptations?
There you go. That's the discussion we need to be having.
We had this with superhero movies at one point where we're like, can we get some consistency? And you know, for the most part, we have gotten more consistency and we've been able to weed out the ones it's like, yeah, you're not good. We need more of this kind of vibe, right? And I think anime adaptations need that consistency. And that's the bigger question. Can Hollywood get their head out their ass and just be like, all right, can we just put the people that give a fuck about this in charge of doing these adaptations?
Spoiler alerts, no, they cannot do that.
They can't leave well enough alone. I mean, hell, I'm scared for this One Piece show because it's like, I mean, yeah, we got season 2. It's gonna get a season 3 because if people aren't familiar with Netflix's practices, nothing is ever guaranteed in the world of streaming, unfortunately.
No, because then, as the executive vice president said, then we'll have to pay people their money, especially like the overseas talent. Then they'd want fair payment.
And we can't have that problem.
Can't give people their fair wages. How dare you, sir? I need to get my 3rd yacht this year.
So the discourse on that, and then you go back to One Piece and it coming out, and it's like, okay, they took 45 episodes, the first 45 episodes of the anime, and they put it in 8 1-hour-long episodes, and it worked.
It worked. Now, because they had to condense so much, it did trim a lot of fat. Like I feel like a lot of characters suffered. I'm looking at you, Usopp.
Yeah, for sure.
Like it isn't perfect. And that's another thing that's getting me, like the hyperbole surrounding this show. And it's like, this is the best, it's the greatest. I'm like, no, it is aggressively okay.
That is a good term. I've never heard that term before. Aggressively okay.
It is aggressively fine. It's serviceable. It's manageable. It does a job of a good adaptation where it's able to stand on its own while honoring its source material and its source story. It is fine. It is okay. It doesn't elevate itself. It doesn't elevate the medium. It does not elevate the genre. It is just okay. But I understand the White Knight, the shit that you like, because I mean, that's just human nature. But like, y'all bring that shit down. Like, y'all are like a 15. Can we at least can you meet me halfway at a 12, an 11, maybe? You know what I'm saying?
You know what? I understand it because, like, you know, when you have trepidations for especially American anime adaptations, especially after Cowboy Bebop and that disaster, and especially Death Note.
I was just going to bring that up, and the unironic comedy. Because look, I was talking to my boy Elvis. There is no way in hell that movie was not intended to be a comedy. Like that with the fucking the editing that they did, the fucking sound effects, The script director, you cannot convince me that movie was not written as a parody. You cannot. They were not serious.
So it's kind of like it's like the Eddie Murphy joke where it's like if you haven't eaten in a long time, you get a cracker. It's the best thing ever. Like, goddamn, this is the best cracker. So it's kind of like with One Piece. It's like, holy shit,
best damn cracker ever. You're right.
It's the best damn thing ever. And it's like, you know what? I'm not even going to yuck people's yum on it. But like I said earlier, when people started saying, oh man, it's the greatest anime, it's the best
like,
ever. I'm like,
we've never had a good one before One Piece. And I'm like, you a goddamn
Speed
lie.
Racer is staring at you in your face day in and day out.
And then I'm so upset because like a lot of people are like, I don't want to say gaslighting, but they're like trying to come at me.
Prime. Come on now.
They're trying to come at me going, well, Speed Racer wasn't that good. And like, nobody really likes Speed Racer that much. I'm like, where the fuck have you been, child? Like, yes, when the movie came out, like it was critically panned and it didn't do well financially. But when people started actually like watching the movie on like streaming services on Blu-rays and shit, like it.
The Blu-ray sales, them shits was through the roof. Like, holy shit,
that movie found a second. Like we were like, holy fucking shit. And like, and I was the same way because I didn't see it in theaters, and I was like, I don't know. I'm like, I
should have, Prime. It was the greatest. It was a dope experience, man.
I should have. When I watched it on my TV, I was like, oh my god, I wish I could have seen this on a bigger screen. Like, oh my god,
it's eye porn. It's eye porn.
Right. And so it's like, you don't have to put other things down to elevate the thing that you like. If you have to put down other things to elevate the thing that you like, then maybe the thing that you like isn't that fucking good on its own.
And it's kind of interesting too, because there's also a lot of verbiage that's been going around where I saw somebody say, well, if you can get past the campiness and you know, the wackiness of it and stuff, One Piece is a fun watch. And I'm like, but the campiness and
this is bullshit I'm talking about, and how people are ashamed of the things that they like, and they are constantly in this desperate need for fucking validation. Because I saw one wild ass review that was like, I think it was he's on Rotten Tomatoes or somebody had posted it on Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot where, but I remember the verbiage because it says some shit like, One Piece is what happens if you take Pirates of the Caribbean, mix it with the campiness of Doctor Who. Hold on, let me see. Hold on. It was some out of pocket shit, and I was like,
first off,
just say
you put Pirates of the Caribbean, which look, I love Johnny Depp. That series is definitely an enjoyable watch, but like, no, what are we doing here?
And I mean, like I said, I feel like people use that word camp as like a 4-letter word, like it's something to be ashamed of. I'm like,
it really feels like I'm with you, man. I feel like I'm being gaslighted when people sit there and say because it's like, okay. I think I don't know if I told you this. It was like me and the guys were talking about this. It was on Jamie Kennedy's podcast, and he had a guest on there, and the guy's like one of those people that get celebs at conventions, right? Mm-hmm. And he was talking about how one of the celebs was saying, hey, I want to, get some money to kind of like, Amy Jo and the Power Rangers. He was like, well, first off, respectfully, she's Power Rangers. Everybody comes to those conventions for Power Rangers. They make a shit ton of money, and unfortunately, Hollywood doesn't respect Power Rangers. And that's when I'm like, and it's the same thing with anime. It feels like unless you're Miyazaki, nobody's going to really give a shit about anime and take it seriously. And that's what sucks. And even when you get something like Dragon Ball, the Broly movie, we saw the fanfare and it blowing up the box office here in the United States. And critics were kind of like, well, I don't understand. It's anime. What do you need to understand? Like, come on. Like, what are we doing here? And I don't know. It just feels like when people sit there and say campiness and stuff, it's like, so you really, like you said, it's the cringe of it. That's like, anime doesn't have to be cringe. Just enjoy it. Like, you intake all these superhero films and you never talk about it being cringe, but somehow anime is cringe. I don't get it.
Yeah, it's strange. It's like I say, it's like the people who are just desperate for validation, like they just feel so insecure in the things that they like and they enjoy. And like, look, I get that. I was also one of the ostracized nerds. Like, I mean, I wasn't shoved in a locker because I was the one shoving people. Anyway,
Prime at balls.
Get the game twisted. I was a nerd, but I was also a 6 foot tall muscular nerd. But anyway,
Look. As my boy Hilton says, people like us were very multifaceted nerds. All right, we just we like what we like, but we also could handle
I could
ourselves when
also,
need be.
talk to women.
Yeah, yeah.
And so I understand. I get that. I get the feeling like, you want to have some legitimacy. You want to feel like the things you like are validated and loved,
Mhm.
but you don't need that to be external. That is internal from you and the connection that you have with the thing that you love. Like I say this a lot. I think I've said it several times. Like if no one else liked comic book movies and like comic books, or they never became popular, I would still like them because I enjoy them. Like I don't
Yeah,
need, you know what
I
I'm saying?
was I was enjoying it even before it started gaining traction.
Exactly. Like I've read comics all my life. I will read comics all my life. And I was here before the comic book boom movie started, and I'll be here long after it's over.
We grew up during that era where all we got was Batman and Trials of the Incredible Hulk, and
I was gonna say, nigga, I ate me up some Nightman. The fuck you mean?
we took what we can. Mutant X. I told you, I am a Mutant X stan. All right,
Anyway, you
even
know what? I'm on the hill right behind you, bro. I'll stand with you.
we took what we can, and it just was what it was. And then once it gained traction, it's there, and it's kind of weird with anime in a way because I feel anime to this day still. And again, I'm not saying that anime needs to get validation or anything. It's just funny, like how comic book movies finally got over that hump, and stuff. And it's like anime still hasn't gotten over that hump. And I'm the fine. To be honest, I'm fine with it. I'm not really asking that. I think anime is mainstream enough. I mean, the shit's in theaters now, like and not like in some rinky
Shit has
dink small
con-
theater. It's actually in actual AMC Regal theaters. Like everybody can see it.
right conventions being sold out on the regular. Like I keep seeing like this comment I see a lot where people go like, "Is anime finally mainstream? Is anime finally?" Bitch, where the fuck were you 20 years ago? Are you blind? Are you late?
When Toonami blew up, I feel that's when it finally hit mainstream.
I wouldn't say. I don't know. I feel like that's when the seed was really starting to bloom. I feel like it was mainstream when you were seeing shit like referenced on like late night talk shows. You know what I mean?
Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
That's why I was like, oh, now the normies are here. Okay.
See, I mean, yo, you're right. The normies are like, what's this anime? It's like it's been around.
We've been here. We've been out here. And I just feel like the nerd in me that used to walk around in middle school with the little fuck. You remember the little anime preview magazine pamphlet you could get from comic
Oh
book stores and
man.
shit, where you
Yep.
could see all the listings of video. Who released those catalogs? It was
I forgot who used to release them, but I know you talked about though for sure.
yeah, I used to
Because
walk around with them shits. And I feel like y'all are disrespecting that young man with y'all's flipping fucking behavior.
so those that don't know anything about One Piece, One Piece came out back in 1997. For me, I jumped in on One Piece when they started releasing the Shonen Jump magazines in stores. It's right around like when I graduated high school, so it's like 2002. So at this point, One Piece was like 5 years in, and those early Shonen Jump books that they released in the United States, they had was it Naruto, Hajime no Go, Shaman King. One Piece, and didn't they have another one? I was about to say Dragon Ball Z, but I don't know if did you ever collect those Shonen Jump magazines?
Yeah, because they had like Yu-Gi-Oh,
Yeah,
Rurouni
Yu-Gi-Oh. Yeah,
Kenshin,
yeah, Yu-Gi-Oh.
Gintama. It had like it's basically like most of the shit that was in Japanese Shonen Jump is just printed here like Shonen Jump.
Yeah, so like when they had it in stores and stuff, that's how I got into One Piece, and they were showing it was like the whole arc before Luffy was fighting Buggy, the clown, and I was like, well, this is an interesting story, and I just kind of kept up with it. And at that point, I had started going online reading the manga One Piece and stuff, and I was off to the races and stuff. At that point, for kids, was showing the anime One Piece, the infamous One Piece with the One Piece rap and all that stuff that a lot of us on the message boards, kind of went back and forth on whether it was good or bad.
CJ, I'm telling you. I do not like the first version of We Are, and I prefer the power rap to that.
You know what? You know what? You're right. Look, you know what it is? That pirate rap, I didn't feel one way or the other about it. It was like, whatever. It is what it is, you know.
Because I was gonna also make a meme today about how the show needed the pirate rap in it. And then I was gonna like,
Man,
I was
they
like,
put that pirate rap in there with like Just Blaze produced and shit. I'll laugh my ass off.
and I was like, do I really need that heat right now? Because I'm already two for two today on Twitter. Let me
I should
let
have
me chill
pressed you
out.
out and been like, Prime, do it. Been like the Emperor from fucking Star Wars, do it. Kill him
But
now.
so speaking of the music, so did it bother you from the show, the Netflix show,
Mhm.
that One Piece has like some really good, like iconic background tracks
Yeah.
and some really decent OPs and ending themes.
Mhm.
And this show decided to use stock generic Pirates of the Caribbean music. Did that bother you as much as it bothered me?
I thought I was playing Kingdom Hearts 3 at one point, Prime.
Man, I swear, what was that? What was that damn pirate game on PC
was it
with
was it
LeChuck?
Sid was it Sid Sid whatever Pirates game or whatever?
Yeah, is
That
that
one?
like it's the most generic ass? Like we got this,
I'm like,
we
okay.
got this, we
It's
got
like
all these tracks.
you had Oda right there. I'm pretty sure we can get that music from the anime in here a
I mean,
little
y'all
bit.
can just talk to Sony, y'all can talk to somebody, but like it really felt like they got all these tracks off a CD for like $10 and was like, make this shit work.
Well, you know,
And then
we are in a strike, and you know, Netflix does operate under the cheap label here. So, you know.
the fuck you, I don't pay you. Um,
I mean, look, I'm still wondering, did they pay the seatbelts for Cowboy Bebop? Because I'm still wondering if that even happened.
and like that one moment we actually heard like a motif from the show, which is ironically we are
Mhm.
when they set off in the Going Merry. I went, this is what the show could sound like. It needs to sound like this more often. And
Will
again,
they on season 2? I don't know.
we'll see. We'll see. Because also my fear
Mhm.
watching this, I was like the whole time sitting there like looking at the woman going, now how the fuck are they gonna do Chopper? How the fuck are they gonna do Frankie? How the fuck they gonna do Brooke? How the fuck they gonna do Jinbei?
That budget is going to be pretty stretched out on just Chopper alone.
And I had a fucking micro heart attack
They're
when they
gonna dress
actually,
somebody up in prosthetics. I'm already, yeah, they're gonna dress him up in prosthetics, Prime.
and I already had a fucking micro heart attack when they mentioned Jinbei by name, and I was like, oh no, oh no.
I mean, look, I'll say this: the special effects for the show was fine. It was competent.
You know, I was gonna say I'm shit posting, but the limited amount that they used because they had to use it sparingly, it was okay. It was fine.
CW
Like I
rules
thought,
there, Prime. CW rules. You
right.
gotta get it when you can.
And I thought that Luffy was gonna be complete dog shit
Ah,
because
it
I was so
worked.
afraid, like Rubber Man, oh, it's gonna be bad. I'm like, oh, it's not bad. It's okay. It's okay. Hit a couple of uncanny valley moments, but overall, I thought it wasn't bad.
What was your uncanny valley moment though for you?
When he did the headbutt attack or the kick where he does the axe kick down,
Mm-hmm.
I was like, and again, I have a very high tolerance for uncanny valley because I want to fuck robots, but that shit triggered me. I was like, oh wait a minute, I'm suddenly now hyper aware how unreal this looks.
Hey, I will say this: the standout for me, bar none, is like I'm mad that they had Arlong out here on his Killmonger. That fish nigga spitting. Sorry, he got some points.
I mean, I can hear you. I hear what you're saying. And so that's another thing. Speaking of fucking Arlong, like speaking of like a lot of the villains, was it just me or did it feel weird to you that these arc long villains were essentially reduced to like monsters of the week? That
three. I mean, I think Arlong was like 3 episodes tops.
he had the most, and I
Yeah,
think
the most.
Captain Black had 2, right? Yeah,
Yeah, Buggy was pretty much throughout the whole show, basically as like a foil, which kind of like the anime, you know, the manga and stuff, where he's there in a way and stuff. He ain't really like villain. It's just like, well, I need Luffy as a means to an end.
right. And pour one out for Don Krieger because goddamn,
Man.
like just gonna just consolidate that story, huh? All right, GG guys, GG.
I mean, yeah, it's like I said, you have 8 hours
Then,
to get 45 episodes in. There were, like you
right.
said, there's a lot of shit that got fucking cut in half.
But then they also kept him feeding the member of his crew that like that just kind of just goes nowhere because that plot line just got cut off mid. Okay, whatever, dog. Sure.
I mean,
Have
prime
fun.
the budget went to Ian McShane doing the narration of the first episode. So
Money well spent, to be
very
honest.
money. I mean, look, Ian McShane. If there's anybody that you get to narrate some shit, you get Ian goddamn McShane. So can't really complain too much about that.
I mean, sounded good, sounded dope.
I wish he was in the show proper. That would have been great, but I'm
Right.
pretty sure
I
he'd be
mean,
too damn expensive at that point.
maybe they might be saving him up for something.
If you had to cast him, who would you have him as?
That's a good ass question.
I feel that's like a loaded question in a way because he could be so many people.
Good ass question. Good ass question. Well, could he be Whitebeard? Now, in the perfect world, because it has his savory fucking ass voice, maybe he could be the voice actor for Jinbei?
Possibly.
I don't know.
Yeah,
there are options. There are options.
Yeah, but I guess starting things off. Let's talk about the cast before we get into the show proper and the highs and lows. So we have Inaki Godoy as Monkey D. Luffy. What did you think of him?
I did not like him.
In an annoying way, or just not like him in terms of the acting?
Now the young fella, the young person, I thought they were fine, serviceable. I just didn't like the creative choices they went with Luffy. And he just never really bodied the Luffy feel for me. This is just a me thing. Like, if you like him, thumbs up. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying this is a me.
It's the aesthetics that you wanted out of him, basically.
Right, like I don't think he had the aura. Like I know there's a comment where like, well, Oda said he did. I'm like, well,
that's Oda.
That's Oda. That's me and Oda are two different people. So like, I didn't see it. And again, I don't think it was his fault. I think it was the creative decisions in the writing, where me and my boy Alex, we were talking about this earlier today, where we both felt like his Luffy didn't just like click for us like the manga and the anime, because of some of the decisions were like they made him more like heroic, like some of those lines about how like I'm a pirate but not that type of pirate. And I'm like, Luffy wouldn't say that shit. Also, he really wasn't a roast god like Luffy is, because
I mean, yeah.
I was like, and like they made him like more heroic, which is kind of annoying because like Luffy in the manga and the anime, he has a moral compass. He has a morality about him, but it's not like they Hollywoodized Luffy's character and his motivations, and it's kind of sad. Like we can handle some complex good guys, and they essentially made him like a regular good guy. Like, I equate that performance to like that speech from the dub Goku where he gives the like, I am son Goku from Earth, I'm a nightmare to you, like when they completely like flip Goku's character, right? Where they completely like flip Goku's character, and I'm like, why would you do that? Why are you doing that?
Yeah, I think that's the thing that happens when you kind of like adapt these Japanese manga and anime to America. You have people that lump in their American sensibilities in some way and stuff, and yeah, that's what, like, you didn't really get much in the way of nuance with Luffy in this show,
right? And that's
what it was just like, oh yeah, like you said, heroic, but it's like, well, is there any downside to him? Does he have like a mean streak on him? What's up? Like, we don't get that.
Like, that's one of the things I like about Luffy is like Luffy has complex. People are saying he wants to be Pirate King, but like Luffy has like a complex morality system. And it's hard to explain without you having actually like watched the show or read the manga. But like once you know what I'm talking about, right? Like,
yeah,
it's not like he's
a lot of it comes from his grandfather
and his siblings.
Yeah. Which the show, again, they don't really touch.
They don't mention Ace at all. Which, isn't that weird? Isn't that weird to you? They don't mention Ace. I mean, I can live without Sabo, but they don't mention Ace. That's kind of weird.
Man, you could say you can live without Sabo. I'm like, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, I mean, where am I wrong?
Yeah, it's like I think that ties into just the nature of the show. They just give you the basic gist of One Piece so much that so it's like you have to streamline Luffy and hit all those beats that even down to like his relationship with Shanks.
Mm-hmm.
It's very streamlined. Like, oh, Shanks is like a big brother to him, and all that. And it's great because I mean, even the guy was it Peter Gadiot that plays Shanks. He was good at Shanks and stuff, but like you didn't really get that much of an intimate sort of like brotherhood between both two. It was just like, oh yeah, he looks up to him, gives him that pep talk, and then that's it.
Right.
So
Which,
like I said, Luffy was competent. It's just it could have been a little bit more. Like they could have just kind of put him over a little bit to
right.
really kind of
Now,
make it great.
on the flip side of that shit, old boy who plays Zoro, fucking fantastic. Per fucking fiction.
Yes. Was it Makinyu Mata?
Yeah. Who also ironically was also Okuyasu in the live action JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, and he was Dark Drive in the Kamen Rider Drive movie. And what else was he in? He was
He's saying Nicely Zodiac.
oh, he's in no, ain't no fuck. He was I need to see that movie, dog. I need to watch that movie.
I'll just say this though, folks. It's a mid movie. The issue with Knights of the Zodiac is that, to be honest, it didn't need to be a setup movie. They should have just went all in with all the Zodiac Golden Knights and just went all out with that shit. That's probably the issue of the film. It's like it's too much build up to just get the only two of the knights and stuff. And I'm like, you could have really just gave us all the knights instead of just setting up that he has to find other knights. But yeah, it's unfortunate. Like it's not a horrible movie. It's clearly it's well made. They got the lore of it, but it doesn't hit like it should. But yeah, he played Seiya in the live action Knights of the Zodiac.
I'm gonna say so. He just collecting them anime roles like Chadwick Boseman was collecting them black man roles, huh?
Hey, look, but his Zoro is a huge step above his Seiya, for sure. So, and also it helps that he's the son of Sonny Chiba. So
I mean, can't go wrong with that, bro.
I mean, your dad was the Street Fighter, so But like you said Dark Driver.
Dark Drive, yeah, from the
Drive
Kamen Rider movie.
Look, man, that man has pedigree. He knows the assignment.
And he understands it well. You love the fuck. Did you see him roast that motherfucker? Where he was like, "I'm Japanese, bitch." What was that fucking? I gotta find that tweet, man. Hold on.
You can find that tweet, bro. You need to find that tweet, man, because that shit just
somebody came at him out of pocket with some shit. He's like, "I'm Japanese, bitch."
Should have just thrown all his fucking credentials in that dude's face, like, "Yo, I'm fucking Dark Drive, bitch. The fuck you talking about?"
Like, get the fuck out of my face, dog.
Scar and Full Metal Alchemist. Get the fuck out of here.
All right, it's $20 on Amazon. I'm about to order this shit in real time.
All right, but nah, his Zoro was fucking dope as shit. Like, just top to bottom.
Excellent. No notes. Same old girl who played Nami. Perfection.
You know what? I will say this. I was scared for old girl playing Nami because, we talked at length about old girl that played Faye in Cowboy Bebop.
Right, because I was afraid it was going to be like that, where they going to take what a femme fatale means. They think that means an obnoxious asshole.
Oh, no. Her was just like, oh, they kept everything intact with her, like top to bottom. Like,
I was like, oh, shit.
Fuck.
She's an actual fucking character. Holy fuck.
It's like, wow, this is amazing.
The bare minimum. You cleared the bar. Thanks, guys.
I want people to understand. It's not like we're trying to shit on it, but it's like, this is how low the bar was for us, folks. It was just like,
in hell.
It was in hell. So it's like, holy shit, they did it.
This is where I'm like, when I say it's aggressively okay, it sounds like I'm being harsh, but I'm like, motherfucker, in 2023, aggressively okay is a goddamn masterpiece. Okay, you have cleared the bar. You should get a Grammy. You should get a fucking EGOT for being just in 2023. The bar is that low.
If season 2 is aggressively okay, I'd be like, well, son of a bitch.
Right. If season 2 is fine, I'd be like, holy fuck, 5 seasons in a movie. Let's go.
Hey, look. All I'm saying is the proof is in Chopper and the rest of the crew. That's the test.
All I gotta say is I gotta see how the fuck they gonna do Brooke? That's like I got it. How are you gonna do Brooke, bro? How?
Hey, look, man. Look the way they did Axham Morgan. I was like, golf clap, not bad, not bad at all,
You know
not
what?
bad
To
at
be
all.
fair, like I was talking to another one of my boys about this. I was like, this shit's really weird for me because this show exists in a weird liminal space where it's like it's real people, but it's so much of the show and so much of like the production design work sticks so heavily to the aesthetic of the anime and manga. Whereas, like I said, it's this weird liminal space where like my brain is having a hard time processing.
Because
'Cause it's
somebody
like,
was like, because you know what's funny? I think I know where you're going with this. Is it a situation where in your head, just like me, you were like, I'm pretty sure some Hollywood exec is gritting his teeth that he had to actually let that shit rock because he was going to probably change the shit up
right,
into something else and
right.
he couldn't do it because
And
Oda looked at him
also
and said, "Fuck you."
and also because like I say, it's like a lot of it also comes off as like high production value cosplay because it looks so much like the manga in some places where I'm like, like you said, I was expecting like a panel line or a fucking like
Yeah,
detective school shit, but it's like, especially with that fucking admiral with the fucking mouse ears and whiskers, I was
bro.
like
I was like, they okay, fuck.
committed to the fucking bit. Or we saw fucking Mary and he had the sheep's head. I'm like, they committed to the bit. And
I,
like they're not. And the other thing, look again, y'all, the bar is in hell. The fact that nobody made like some snarky, ironic comment like that guy has mouse ears. Like no one says
it's
anything. Like
normal. It's
it's
fucking
just
normal.
this is just what the characters look like. Or my name is Monkey D. Luffy. You know what? Nobody went, no, really, what's your name? You know what I'm saying? Like bullshit like that. Like everything is so earnest and honest. Like everything just is what it is. I'm like, wow, I can't believe my defenses have been lowered this much that this is
Yeah.
something I need to note.
I mean, because I think that's what, okay, I think that's at the heart of what we ask out of doing adaptations, even past the anime adaptations, even the comic book adaptations. Even when we talk about Power Rangers on the Morphin Metacast, it's like, don't be afraid of what the fuck you are. Just lean into it and just let the chips fall
Exactly.
where it falls.
Exactly. Why?
Like,
Don't be ashamed of what you are because what you are got you here.
like
God damn it.
perfect example. Favorite season, my favorite season, bar none of Power Rangers Lightspeed Rescue. That show is literally about people in multicolored spandex suits, but they throw in some fucking real world stuff. Carter Grayson, one episode, has to sit there and put out a fire instead of saving a mother and her kid, and they tackle that shit in a show about them in spandex suits. And the show doesn't shy away from that. It's like, nah, we're just gonna they're in spandex suits, but we're still gonna tell a story, and it's just normal. That's it.
Right. Again, I know I repeat this a lot, CJ, and I know I'm probably sound like a broken record. I know you're probably sick of it,
I'm not sick of it.
but the goal is don't make fun, have fun.
Yeah, just have fun with it. That's what this
Right.
show is. It's having fun with it. Like you said, the mouse ears. Zoro has 3 swords, and there's nobody being snarky about it. It's like, oh, it's
Right. No
normal.
matter what. Well, they had that one comment like, "Where does the third sword go?" But then when he put it in his mouth, they didn't go, "Oh, really?" They just went, "Oh, cool." You know, like
Yeah, it was Luffy that said, he was like, oh, okay, all right, gotcha.
right. No one went, "You're really gonna fight with that in your mouth?" Though, also to be fair, bro, did you notice how quick they got rid of his 3 swords? Did you notice that?
Oh yeah, they had him fighting what's his face real quick, and they were like, all right, well, got
They're
him with
like, "Hell
them.
no, we can't keep choreographing this shit. Hell
Hey,
no,
hey, look, they got my man Dracula in there, and they lean into that shit so heavy. I was like, thank you, I appreciate that.
Right.
Again, like you
And then
said, just all the shit is just normalized. It's like, all right, cool, got you, fine.
right, and it's like it's so that in itself is so fucking refreshing. That is a huger plus.
I mean, even Alvita, who she actually looked pretty good. I
Which, by
mean,
the way, I should also note when we got to the end because I was asking, I was like, "Is she gonna eat the fruit? Is she gonna eat that fruit?" I knew they were gonna let her eat that damn fruit. I knew she wasn't gonna change her appearance. I knew it. I could have told y'all niggas that shit. Ain't
well,
no way in hell.
they ain't gonna commit to the bit that much.
Hell
There's
no.
limits. There's
Can you
limits.
imagine if they did that shit? How many fucking pretzel panty bunches would have been on fucking Twitter going, "Why they do that? Why they do that?"
Can I be real, Prime? If she wasn't in any controversy right now, I would have took Lizzo as Alvita, and that shit would have worked.
You know what? You're not wrong.
I'm just saying, like that shit would have fucking worked. Like
You say
she's
that.
fucking
You
knocking
say
the shit
that.
out the fucking park here. She really
You say
is.
that. I'm not hating it.
But she's a
But
musician,
then,
so the more
but then
the
she,
issue is, trying to get her back and all that
I was gonna
stuff.
say, if I had did that shit, I would have had Lizzo be her first version. Then she eats the fruit and then have like ice spice.
Man, look, we would have got the joke. Somebody would be like, "This is some bullshit."
I mean, I would have laughed. I would have had a good chuckle out of that shit.
Oh man,
Just to see the think pieces alone. Like, oh,
done.
do we want this controversy? I'm like, no, but I want these laughs though.
Yeah, yeah. I'm with you though. I felt bad for Usopp. I think, like you said, he was the one that really. It's like he got shortchanged a bit.
Yeah. Like, one of my
Not
partners,
hugely shortchanged, but it's definitely
I would say
noticeable.
it was very noticeable. Like I was talking to my boys because he asked me, he was like, "Is Usopp this boring in the manga and the anime?" I was like, "No,
Nope.
they completely gutted him," and it's a really shame because when the actor got a chance to actually do things, he seemed really to do really well, and I wanted to see more of him. But they took out so much of Usopp's story, Usopp's personality. Where
It's
like
the personality. It could have been a little bit more livened up more than what it
right,
was.
right, right, right. I was just going to mention that there's a couple other characters that they tone way down and kind of just ruin the character for me a little bit. But also CJ, we gotta, because it's us, it's me and you. We gotta talk about this.
Mm-hmm.
So they made Usopp black, right?
Yeah.
So tell me why. So tell me why, in the process of doing that, that also means he now has an absentee father who left him on that island alone and left him with a single mother who then dies in bed. I'm like, okay.
See, I don't think about those things, Prime. I'm just there for the ride. But now that you said that, now I'm just like,
I'm like,
God damn it.
why would you do that? Why would you do
It's
that?
like you did some progressive things, getting a black man as Usopp. Great.
I mean, yeah, that's a victory we all won there. Don't you feel represented by Usopp, the
No,
lying
no, no.
coward?
It's more like this should be a normal thing. Like, so I'm fine with that. And in fact, I'm actually glad that they didn't in the marketing of this movie. Well, granted, they're in a strike or whatever.
Right.
There,
Because
there was no
you
blogger
know,
that was trying to highlight that shit as like a progressive thing. It's like, no, it's they got an actor that worked for the role. That's that. Like,
because you already know if they weren't on strike, there would have been like 55 damn think pieces about hashtag it's time for black and for black Usopp and Hispanic Luffy.
I mean, and the opposite happened is that Nami's adopted sister, there was some people getting at them for making her black, and I'm like, what the fuck
First
does
of
it
all,
matter? Like, it's
first of all, she fine as fuck. Second of all,
thank you. It's yeah, yes, you're right.
first of all, that chick fine the motherfucker.
Yeah.
And second of all, I'm like, it's Netflix, y'all. You already know they're gonna just like do some some unnecessary ass race swaps. It's like let it go, man. There's no point in complaining or pointing that shit out now, man. Let's let it go. Let it go.
Like she's in the show. She's in the good chunk of the fucking show multiple times over and stuff. I think after this, the whole East Blue thing, doesn't she pop up in Water 7?
Aren't there a couple of cutaway scenes, so a bunch of different characters.
Yeah, we got Water 7, and I want to say it was the Whole Cake Island saga.
Shit, why am I talking about fucking Chopper and fucking Jimbei, bro? How the fuck are they gonna do Vivi and Nico Robin? What's that shit gonna look like?
Fuck. I mean, Nico, that's not an issue. I mean,
CJ, if the person they got that plays Nico Robin, if they are not fine as fuck, I'm going on a rampage. I'm going to burn shit to the ground.
they got to get the most.
They got to get
Look.
that has to be the baddest of the bad bitches, bro.
Hey, look, I'm gonna be real. They're gonna have to race swap her ass. That's the only way.
I was gonna say, she gonna be Islander. She either gonna be Greek or she gonna be an Islander. She has to be
Greek,
She
Hispanic,
be Mediterranean.
Mediterranean in some way. And look, there's some nice, fine ass IG models, Mediterranean and shit. So they're out there. It's just
Or
who do you get?
or do you think they'll go the whole? They wouldn't make her Arabic, would they? Would
That
they?
would actually be interesting.
Because in the perfect world,
Hmm.
I'd grab that chick who was in Quantico. What a
Oh
fine ass.
ho 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 ho! Yes.
What a
Oh man,
fine ass.
man. Yeah,
But
yeah. This does, but yeah, that is kind of like the next step in like because like we mentioned Usopp, they kind of shortchanged him. Sanji, great, I loved him.
I can't co-sign that one, dog. I
Not
ain't like that.
they, look,
I ain't
look
like the Sanji.
what part of him did you not like?
The same thing, kind of like with Usopp, where they toned him down way too much. I'm like, this man's not simping hard enough to me for be Sanji. I'm not
You
convinced
wanted
you're
him to.
Sanji, bro. You're
You
not simping
wanted,
hard enough, dog.
hey, maybe season 2 he'll go hard to paint on some Brock from Pokemon sipping.
That's what I'm saying. Like, what was he in a whole like 6 episodes, and I ain't hear not nan one Nami Swan, bro,
Hey, look,
bro.
he flirted with her at the table, and was it episode 2 or 3, and that was the closest you were gonna get.
Right, and then she shoots him down, and he just never does it again. I'm
He
like, who the
just
fuck?
he
Who the
just said
fuck is this?
okay. He just said okay.
Right.
Back to cooking.
I'm like, wait a minute now. Wait a fuck. I'm like, now wait a goddamn minute. Wait a god. Who the fuck is this? Because Sanji would never. Would never ever let that be the end of that. Hold on, dog.
Hey, look, man. The fact that they look the backstory for a lot of these characters, the younger versions of them, were actually pretty interesting. I will admit that, especially like the way they got young Sanji and that whole him being on the island, and
Yeah,
you
that was good.
know
That was good.
that was like holy shit. Like okay,
Yeah, that was a good version of that. Also, how did you feel about them pretty much confirming Minority Hunter Zoro is canon?
look, I couldn't quite piece together. Yeah, minority. Yeah.
He's never beaten them racist allegations, bro.
He's not. It's like, so
Never.
is Zoro racist?
Make the Grand Line great again.
I need a hat.
Red. It's gonna be a bandana, a red bandana.
Do rag, make it. The Grand Line great. That was a choice. That was a choice, Prime. That was a choice. It's like it was a little racist, but all right. Sure. It's, I don't know, man. See, I gotta rewatch the show again now.
Yeah,
I gotta rewatch this again because now I'm really questioning that. Like, don't get it twisted. It's not a bad decision, but it's like it's a choice, right? So,
I mean, that's the thing you do when you do that Netflix style casting. And somebody had to co-sign of that shit with that fucking line. He was like, "I only had one friend at the dojo." And I'm like, "You mean that dojo full of black people?" Fascinating.
Jim Kelly entered the dragon with all them white ass martial artists, and he the only black guy. Like,
right.
And your friend who died of ninja illness, or
you mean died of stairs?
Oh man, I was getting. You know what was interesting about that? The backstory with Zoro. I was getting Power Ranger Ninja Storm vibes a little bit.
Right, it was some geese in the forest, man.
It really was. I was like, is this Power Ranger Ninja Storm? Is this New Zealand? Like, not a bad thing. It's just like, all right, yeah, cool.
The hamster gonna pop up somewhere real quick.
Don't do that.
Secret Ninja Academies.
Train
our future protectors.
Hey, look, if a hamster popped up in this show, I'd be like, well, that tracks. It's One Piece. Fine.
Makes
Hamsters.
Sense.
Gotcha.
Also, another one of my little nitpicks about this shit. So the snail phones, they couldn't say click.
See, now you're just nitpicking for the sake of nitpicking.
Now I'm just nitpicking. Now I'm just being a petty bitch.
Now you're just being petty. Me, I was just like, shit, they even went all out with the phones. All right, cool. Because again, some executive that didn't understand the snail phones and stuff would be like, just give them regular phones. What are we doing here? And I was like, they went for it. They actually kept it in. Like,
right. I know, right? I was so like, I'm shocked. Now, I also went a step further. They had like fucking mobile snail phones. Like, okay, all right then, Oda.
Look, look, I was very interested in how they, even with, like, we talk about the aesthetics of the world, even with the fishmen, and just, they really went in on the politics of that a bit, which I thought was
Right.
actually pretty good. I was like, oh, okay, y'all actually went into that, because that's something that would be kind of like, are the fishmen are actually getting prejudice out here? I think they are. They definitely are feeling some way, and rightfully so. I mean, I ain't with
I
them
can't
killing people, but hey.
I can't wait to see how the show does the Fishman Island arc in those 2 episodes they're gonna give it, which will probably improve that arc
Sir,
a whole lot.
sir, it's gonna get one 55-minute episode. Who are you kidding? All right.
Now hold on, dog. If they gave fucking Captain Black a whole 2 episodes, they can spare at least an episode of some change to Fishman Island, dog.
Okay, you're right. Probably 2 episodes. Probably two
Now
episodes.
Skypiea, that shit gonna be 1 episode.
It's like, yep.
Matter of fact, that shit might be half episode. They might splice that shit with Punk Hazard. You don't fucking know.
Hey man. Shout out to Jeff Ward. Jeff Ward played Deke in Agents of Shield, and his Buggity Clown. Bravo, sir.
Again, I don't agree.
I like it. I like it. I dug it.
I mean, I don't know. It just came across as like great value Joker. I ain't like it.
Yeah, look, you take the gift and the curse of it. I knew when they were doing Buggy the Clown, they were going to throw some aspect of Joker, because let's be real, Prime.
We live in a society.
We live in a society, Prime, where anytime there's a clown of any sort that's not Joker, they try to make them Joker. And it's kind of annoying as hell, because it's like, it doesn't have to be this way.
Yeah, because like when I watched it, some folks I was watching it with, they were like, Bucky ain't that damn cold. I'm like, no, he's not. I'm like, why is he this damn serious?
I mean, he can be cold if he wants to, but he's not really that cold.
Nah,
at all.
nah. Not to that degree.
Yeah, well, yeah. But I mean, I think that was, again, you make these changes and stuff. Something I feel the writers, they went into that writer's room and was like, how can we take this person that's in clown makeup and make him be taken seriously? And I'm like, you don't just allow the character to just be. That's it. Like, that's all you need to do.
Exactly. And it's like, I think, like I say, like sometimes some of the things they did, they lean just really heavily into the world and the aesthetics, and some things they just couldn't escape the Netflix of it all. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, will say this. I did enjoy the whole thing with the Black Cat Pirates. That whole thing was actually pretty dope.
Yeah, I thought that was a really good adaptation of that arc.
Especially the guy playing Kuro. I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, he did a really good job. Really fantastic job. Though I feel kind of cheated, because they kind of shrunk the scale of it, because they condensed and compact so much of it,
Yeah.
Because I'm like, did they really gonna? Because they also like changed his ambition. And again, like this, I felt really bad, because I think one of the strengths of One Piece, because I know I joke about this a lot on Twitter, but really one of the strengths of One Piece are like the flashbacks.
Yeah.
Where you get to see the whole aspect. You get to see a lot of the character, and you get to see a lot of the motivations and the reasons why people make the decisions, or what made people how they are in the situations that we find them in. And because so much focus is laser focused in on the Straw Hat Pirate, this is not a negative thing. I'm not saying this is a bad thing. You only got 8 episodes. You only got so much time, so you gotta, pick and choose your battles. And they decide to, make sure that the main characters get the most fleshing out of. That's fine, but we lose a lot of the nuance and a lot of the motivations for a lot of the villains, and they kind of just suffered and come across as one dimensional, which is a shame, because a lot of Oda's characters are anything but one dimensional.
Yeah, and that's the reason why they get all these whole arcs, because, like you said, you get kind of like the gist of what makes them tick and how do they get to that point. Because when we meet Buggy the Clown in the manga and stuff, in the anime proper, like, we just see him on the front end as this crazy motherfucker and blah blah blah. And then when you see like who he's aligned with and how he got to that point, it's like, oh, okay, that's why he is the way it is. And that's kind of, it would have been nice because you gave the heroes in this show flashbacks, right? You could have gave flashback to some of the villains. to kind of see
or
how or
right.
just a snippet of their background.
Or something like either through like exposition or do something just like we can, give them a little more meat on their bones. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And it's not fair. And I'm like, I don't know. This is also the gift and the curse of adaptation, because a lot of that shit you can skirt by because some people have familiarity with the original source material, so you
yeah,
can take some shortcuts.
mm,
But like again, I think I said this a lot. An adaptation should be able to exist on its own.
yeah,
Like I shouldn't need homework to appreciate this thing in and of itself.
yeah, yeah. But like I said, I think that's what's kind of having me curious on it because, like I said, right now the manga is on its final arc at this point, and we're all kind
Which
of
should be over in like 8 years. The fuck y'all talking about?
Nick, I'm gonna be married with kids by the time that shit ends. That's prime. I'm sick to my stomach. Again, I started One Piece back when I graduated high school in 2002. Here I am at the cusp of 40, about to get married at some point and everything, and One Piece is still going.
It's wild, bro.
That is crazy to me. The anime that came out in the 1997, summer of 97, right when I was going to high school, and here I am at the cusp of 40 and it's still going. That's insane. Like that's longer than fucking Law and Order at this point.
Right.
If that. Yeah, longer than Law and Order. That's crazy. Oh my god, man. Yeah, that's and it's like the nature of Netflix with how they do it. I'm curious, like it's like I'm nervous because I don't want to assume that they're gonna do more because Netflix and streaming they can obviously cancel it. But I kind of sit back and say, if Netflix didn't do it, was there going to be anybody else that was going to do this? Because I couldn't see HBO doing this.
Nah, I couldn't see. And I mean, I guess that's like the gift and the curse.
Yeah,
Of the age of streaming, the age of content, people need eyeballs on their screens. So a lot of shit that otherwise wouldn't get made is getting made. That's a pro. A con is shit that would normally wouldn't get made is getting made. You know what I mean?
I mean, Amazon Prime, I could probably see for sure. I can definitely see Amazon Prime for sure on that and stuff.
I'm gonna need them
Um,
to stop bullshitting and bring back the Expanse, please.
look, Amazon Prime took it from Sifi and finished it off. We just got to accept it, Prime. All right, that's
I'm gonna need
just
my movie. I'm gonna need my movie. Get the last books. Get the last books.
Bezos. You demand give us the ending. You got the money. You can do it.
Just one 2-hour movie, baby. That's all I want, baby. That's all I need, baby.
Hey, Babylon 5 got a damn movie.
I'm saying Farscape got 2 movies. Come on, baby. That's all I need, baby.
Damn, Farscape got 2 movies?
Yeah, wasn't it the Peacekeeper War and
Look, I'm not deep into Farscape. I just didn't know it had 2 movies. I knew it had 1, but I didn't know it had 2.
Wasn't it? Because they had a. Now I gotta remember because it's been so long since I watched fucking Farscape, bro.
So who was the Marine captain that at the end of the show?
Oh, wasn't that Smoker?
I want to say I thought it was Smoker, but some people were saying it was somebody else.
It had to be. Who else smokes cigars and has a big ass hook sword? Am I crazy?
I don't know. I mean, it's yeah. You know what's funny? I thought they were going to tease other like characters and stuff, after this.
I thought they're going to tease Crocodile.
I mean, look, the prosthetics for that shit was going to be fucking fire. You already know that,
man.
I think some of the like half human, half animal based like characters are going to be easy to do prosthetics for. But I'm with you where I'm like, so Chopper, how are we doing this? Are you going to have somebody? You going to have a little kid dressed up as Chopper in prosthetics? Is that what we're going to do?
I mean, that would make sense, right? Wouldn't it?
Yeah, but then when he transforms, so how are you going to do that?
I mean, I guess CGI.
But you're going to get stretched thin, dog.
No pun intended, I assume.
I intended my pun, sir. What are you talking about?
Good. You've learned your lesson. Excellent.
Yeah, you know what? I think that's the thing too. It's like obviously some of the larger, like we mentioned Alvida, like her character, like just the visual aesthetics of her, it's like I'm not saying it was bad. It was just like if that's what we're going to give that character, what does that mean for other characters that are larger than life? Like the giants, or I mean, they nailed the big giant snake, the the giant serpents and stuff in the water. They did nail that. So it's like, what does that mean for every other character and stuff? So I don't know. Um, it is kind of interesting that they nailed Gold Roger and his execution pretty well.
Right, right. And you mentioned about the prosthetics, like the guy who played Arlong, I thought he did a really fantastic fucking job. And I
So
thought he looked
Kenley,
pretty well considering the budget and the you know,
Kenley Belcher the third. Yeah, he
looked
was.
pretty fucking good.
Oh yeah, whole ass black dude. Yeah, that sound like a black dude. That didn't sound like no white dude.
Right. With his
Because
whole
I
ass
heard him speak and I was like, that's a black man. That is a black man.
and they leaned into that shit.
That's why I said it was like, so we're going full Killmonger. I'm not mad at it. It actually works.
I mean, like I said, I'm gonna let you cook. I'll let you cook.
Hey, I'm just wondering what happens to them after this. That's because he does pop up in fillers and shit. So
Right. How do you think they're gonna do Dole Flamingo?
ooh, God, that's another larger than life character. It's just so many characters that you really got to ask yourself, like on a Netflix budget, how do you really make One Piece this big, expansive show? Because, like I said, for this first season, they did a good, at least a decent enough job of just one part of this One Piece world. But like now, you got to really expand on this shit, especially when the team gets to the Grand Line and all that. You really got to go crazy with it. So it's like, what is your limits on doing something like that?
Right, right. I mean, I am, like I say, I'm because it was okay. I'm willing to give them the benefit of the doubt, and I'm willing to let them cook to see where it goes. This also gives me hope that the Gundam that they're doing, the Yu Yu Hakusho that they're doing, isn't going to be fucking terrible and will just also be okay.
Well, Prime, we have to take these one thing at a time. I'm not. I am. I'm not like getting my hopes up on the Gundam film. I got to see what it's about. I really need to see what it's about because,
Yeah,
like,
like I said, I went in thinking it's gonna be dog shit, but like I said, now this gives me just a little bit of hope where it's just gonna be fine.
look, I want people to understand this is how bad some of these adaptations are, and it goes into something. So Sue, I was trying to get Sue and D on, and they were like, yeah, they're not big on One Piece, so they didn't know how to chime in. But Sue brought up a good point. It felt like with One Piece, Netflix had their backs against the wall after going 0 for 2, and they had to make sure that One Piece was good because it was a huge franchise, and you cannot fuck up a huge franchise like
I'm
this.
gonna say, can you imagine if they fucked up one? If they did to One Piece what they did to Cowboy Bebop, bro, weaves would be raging in the street to this day. They would have burned that building, that company down to the ground.
Like we've raged at Dragon Ball Evolution, like what the fuck is this shit, right? Like even though we were like, hey, Chow Yun Fat is Roshi, great. Everything else, what the fuck?
Nah, but these One Piece stands, dog, they on another level, bro.
That
Bro,
Netflix office and wherever the fuck they are, would have got burned down
they
immediately.
would have came down to them motherfucking empowered ships, them damn selves.
Oda would have been like, what the fuck is this shit?
They would have brought that building down in One Piece, goddamn it.
It was like the too big to fail thing where it's like they had to make sure that this production and everything was good. Because otherwise, if this shit was horrible, that's it. Netflix was not going to do any more anime adaptation, live action
I said, if
adaptations.
this shit was horrible, Netflix wouldn't exist. I'm telling you, man, the One Piece stands would not stand for it, dog.
So it's like for me, I feel there's a reason why Hollywood, there's a reason why Macross slash Robotech, that movie is in fucking developmental hell, because it's like that's a franchise like One Piece that's too goddamn big. Like Macross is celebrating his what 30th anniversary, 35th anniversary or whatever right now. I
How
think.
old is Gundam?
I think it was it. Hold up, started in 1979.
All right, so I think we're on our. No, we're on the 40th.
Yeah, 40th.
No, man, Macross is on the 40th, so that means Gundam is on its. Is Gundam on its 50th?
Yeah, probably. So, but the thing with this, Macross has been around for 40 years. That's a franchise that's too big that you can't fuck up, and that's why it's in developmental hell right now. And I think with Gundam, it's in the same boat with One Piece, where it's like, hey guys, you cannot fuck up a Gundam movie or show or whatever that you're doing. Don't fuck this up. Like it's you can't do that. And I'm curious on did they even say which Gundam that they're adapting? Is it going to be the OG? You know?
I keep hearing conflicting things. So, well, one, I'm trying to stay far away from it because I don't want to be angry.
Oh yeah.
And two, I've heard conflicting things. I heard it's going to be a adaptation of the original Amuro Ray Char Aznable Gundam, but then I've also heard it's going to be its own original like side story set during the 1 Year War. So,
which I mean, on one hand, yeah, you can definitely do some interesting things because let's be real, as we've outlined on the Gundam episodes that we've done on the show so far in the Universal Century, there were a lot of moving pieces that were happening during the 1 Year War, so you do have a lot of leeway to do some things for sure, but it's still in that bubble of don't fuck this up.
mm-hmm.
So, and Yu Hakusho, like that's look, you think people are One Piece fanatics. Yu Yu Hakusho has a hive.
Because there's so few of us, bro.
We all we got.
We're all we got, dog. We got to stick together.
Like it's
just us.
It really is. So it's like you're doing. So it's like you doing Yu Yu Hakusho. It's like don't fuck this up, guys, because like you fuck this up, it's a wrap. It's done. Like you're done because like you have to get because the thing with Yu Yu Hakusho, you got to get everything right with that. You have to get the casting. You got to get the story that you're doing. Like, what story are you doing? Are you doing the For Saint Beast opening? What are you doing? Because I hope it's not Dark Tournament.
I hope they don't start with Dark Tournament. You'd be crazy as a motherfucker.
so is it like the build up to the Foreign Saint Beast? Are we doing that? All right, cool. I can see the vision, but if yeah, they got their work cut out for them. But like I said, to me, I'm looking at Netflix as baby steps. And like I said at the beginning, it's not the aspect of whether this show broke the live action animated adaptation curse. It's more like will we get consistent products after this, and not just from Netflix. I'm looking at Hollywood too on this, because if Hollywood is really going to go all in on this, you really have to be committed to it. I mean, we saw James Cameron when him and Robert Rodriguez did Battle Leader Angel, and you could tell that they really had a love of the material.
I mean, he's pretty much said that Alita's his waifu. Like, he was like,
you gotta respect that. That's a guy that's committed to anime. He's like, look, I feel how I feel about them Avatar movies, but it's like that man's fucking committed. Gotta give him that.
I mean, he was dedicated to getting the Alita movie made. He was like, this movie is gonna happen.
Which the sick part is that movie with the special system that he did, special effects that he did for that movie was like a beta test run for Avatar 2. So I was like, I see you, Jimmy. I see you, Jimmy Cameron. I see what you did there.
I know, right?
Which apparently he's advocating for that sequel to happen. So I'm like, you know what? Yeah, James, you deserve it. You know, Avatar got Disney billions. They're not going to tell you no.
Yeah, they can throw you a couple of shekels for your Dakamara waifu there.
So you got Disney $2 billion. I'm pretty sure they're like, you know what, James, do whatever the fuck you want. Have at it. There's only so few people, mainly white guys, that can get away with that shit. James Cameron is one of them, because it's like, go tell James Cameron no. That man prints money.
Right, as they say, let him cook.
Let him cook. And I'm like this, Netflix, keep the people that you had doing One Piece for the second season and beyond. And, you know, obviously, hopefully the people that are writing the show, you know, take the issues that people have with the first season and just improve on it, just make it better.
Listen to some constructive criticism. Don't call us toxic because we're pointing out your writing can be a little better.
To be
Like,
fair, we are on the writer strike, so they obviously can't answer. But I will say, apparently, a couple of the writers did appreciate everybody that enjoyed the show. So I'm like, all right, cool. Obviously, they're striking, so they can't really, promote the show and all that stuff. So, like you said, hopefully they can take the constructive feedback and get back on the drawing board and be like, all right, what can we do to improve X and all that and stuff. So that's what you can hope for.
right,
Um,
right.
But yeah, folks, if you're a person that I will say this. Actually, this is a good way to kind of like, I guess, punctuate this show. If you Prime, from your point of view, if somebody watches this show and they want to watch the anime, would you recommend them watching the anime, or would you tell them, hey, like, what would you, from your point of view, what would you say?
Okay, so if someone came to me and said, "Hey, I want to get into One Piece, so should I check out the Netflix show?" I would say go ahead. Like, so however you interact with the franchise, like I'm not gonna knock what your entry point is. Like
Mhm.
I'm not gonna gate keep you out of the franchise. So like
Oh no.
however you want to get into it. Like if you don't have time to read the manga, you don't have time to commit to 1,000 episode anime, and the Netflix show is just 8 episodes, knock it out. Why not? Um, because like I said, I think it serves really well as an abridged version of the series. You
Mhm.
get a lot of the key details. Um, it hits all those main points, and it introduces you to the world. Now, if you finish those 8 episodes and you want more, then I will say by all means read the manga or watch the anime, whichever one works best for you. Because I'm kind of doing both right now.
Mhm.
I am I'm doing both. So right now I'm in the episodes of 700 or so where they just got the minks and they just found Carrot was stowed away on the ship on the
Yeah.
Going Sunny.
Mhm.
And in the manga, which is kind of weird for me because usually I'm a way faster reader, but
Yeah.
for some reason on the manga, I'm in Arlong Park right now.
Mhm.
So I'm just like just going along at my own little pace here, minding my own business.
Yeah, I mean, you know what? And to Netflix credit, and I'm actually happy they're doing this. If you watch the show, they literally, like, if you like, One Piece, check out these One Piece shows. They actually give people the opportunity to, watch the show and watch the One Piece movies.
Yeah, it's called at the end of it, the very bottom, it's like check out the One Piece collection, and it's like all the anime, then it's like the movies, the recap specials, all that shit
Mhm.
just right there, one
Yeah,
click away. Excellent marketing. That's how you fucking do it.
yeah. It's cross plat. It's cross way of doing it and stuff. And look, if you're listening to this and you're somebody that maybe you're not into anime and stuff, keep an open mind watching the show, because like we said before, this is a show that unabashedly is open to the world that it is, and it's not afraid to lean into those things because that's just what the world is. It's not trying to shy away from what it is. It's just like Prime said, you got somebody that has rabbit ears, and it's like, not rabbit ears, mouse ears, and you're like, all right, cool, it's normal.
Or a
you know
motherfucker walking around with a sheep head on. It's like, yes, that's what he does.
yeah. So
Or
yeah.
or a motherfucker that dressed like a clown.
Yeah, it's normal. And so I don't be afraid, don't be weirded out, don't raise an eyebrow, just go along with it. That's the show,
Right.
so
And I think if the way I had to sum it up, it's it's sincere. We've lost, like, I don't know, like we have so much post ironic irony, humor and shit. Like we've lost genuine sincerity when it comes to certain, projects and genre. So it's so actually refreshing to see it now. Like I'm always taken aback by it.
I feel that's why both of us were like, is this a trap? Why
Right.
am I being fucked with? When is the shoe going to drop? When is the shoe going to drop? And it's like, oh, the shoe didn't drop.
Right. Like when I didn't hear somebody go, "And what's your real name?" I'm like, we're not doing that. We're not doing that, really?
I even go to the point of the fact that they didn't shy of leaning into scenes from the anime that we saw, iconic scenes like Zoro and Dragula, like fighting it out and stuff, and that whole scenario and stuff. It's like, oh, y'all lean heavily into a lot of the visual aesthetics of certain things that happen in the manga and the anime and stuff. It's like, all right, cool, y'all kept it, got you. So, but yeah, yeah. check out One Piece on Netflix. That is our thoughts on it. And we'll see you guys later. Peace.
Auf Wiedersehen, du.